They can't discern, what's right, wrong, or indifferent about the political messages that they're receiving.
There's laws. If you're black, you can't live here. You can't buy this, right? That's just what it is.
Does it seem like I have a lack of information to pull from? Like I'm running out of stuff to talk about?
Being a white guy that gets it, I wish that there were more white dudes that were to straighten people out about woke.
You got to let me finish this comment so nobody clips me and makes me sound racist.
92.1. 92.1.
If this is your first time watching the 90 to 1 podcast, my name is Cary Hays. I'm the creator of the 90 to 1 program. The 90 to 1 program is in the description of the video. Check out the link if you want to know more information. If you're already a subscriber, welcome back and thank you for the support. Today, we have a guest that's very near and dear to my heart. His name is Genesis Veronon. He's from the Spokane area. He does a whole bunch of community work. He's very important in the Pacific Northwest hip-hop community. But not to tell too much of his story, Genesis, go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Yes, my name is Genesis Veronon, a.k.a. Syntax. Today's my birthday.
Happy birthday.
51 seasons. I'm so thankful for that. A lot of losses recently, though. Kind of, for D'Angelo.
Yeah.
My homeboy Eric. Renee's brother. I mean, there's just been a lot over the last week, so I'm just extra. This birthday is unique in that way. There's been quite a few people that a lot of us know, and then famous folks and locally famous and good people who have gone to the other side. So shout out to those people and their families, man. And I just look, like I said, it's a unique 50. I mean, how many people do podcasts on their birthday out the blue?
That's true. That's
so
true.
I'm thankful for the opportunity.
It definitely is a bit of a haunting time right now. Like, not that there's, I'm walking around with a black cloud following me around, because I'm staying positive and everything, but it definitely feels like something's missing, I just saw my boy Bobby Divine yesterday when I was getting a haircut. He popped up at the barbershop, and I haven't seen him in like 5 years, something like that. And I remember thinking, because I was getting my haircut, so I had my eyes closed, and I heard him talking, and I was like, oh yeah, I haven't been in the same room and heard that voice in a long time, and it just kind of had me thinking about how important and how fragile that is. People that we surround ourselves with can just poof, and they're gone. You never get to hear them again with you, and feel their presence.
No, 100%. I like, when you said that about, having your eyes closed and hearing a voice, what that resonated with me. Like, that person's part of your soul, that hits your soul. It's not just your brain, obviously, is storing information, but it's like something comes over your heart when you hear a voice. Something, it's pretty powerful, to be in that situation and just have an instant, a tone, a voice out of all the voices that we know.
Yeah.
How it can just hit you. You're like, yo, that's my man here, or whatever. I've had an experience like that before where, you hear a voice or maybe someone's yelling your name.
Yeah.
And then you're like, is that so-and-so? And you're like, whoa.
It's crazy. Just to spin off of that a little bit. We like to think that we're very separate beings, that we're having separate experiences, but it's a little stickier than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, every person you come in contact with, have an intense experience with, almost die with, or go to jail with, or, go to school with, or whatever it is. It sticks with you. They do become a part of you, and that's probably why it's so painful when people pass. Also, it reminds us of our own mortality, and that's a whole another kick we could go on. But so Jeff Phillips was a mutual friend of ours, and my kids, Lennon and Veronon, call him Uncle Jeff.
Yeah.
And whenever he was in Spokane, he'd stay with us, and I had to break the news to him that he passed. And, you know, that's still obviously heavy.
Yeah.
But yeah, for a couple weeks, you know, I'd drive up to the school to drop my kids off, and I'd see a little black dude with his hat down, wearing a sweatsuit with some white kicks or something, right?
Yeah.
Same facial hair, you know what I'm saying? But then like I'd turn the corner and I'd be like, oh, that's not Jeff, you know what I'm saying? But like for a split second, I'd be like, is that Jeff?
Yeah, no, it's just a Marshallese guy.
But peep this, though. No, but peep this. One day I was going to drop my son off at school, and he seen that same dude.
Yeah.
And he was like, is that Uncle Jeff?
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, because my son is a little empath. Like my daughter is too. She's autistic. But my son is like, he's really outspoken about it.
Yeah.
And he says stuff to me that I'm like, bro, are you sure you're not like a grown up?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Not like a 40-year-old dude inside of a kid's body, like trying to get out.
That's right.
But yeah, bro, yesterday we're coming home from school. He's always got these little hustle ideas, right? And he goes, I came up with an infinite money glitch. And he's 9, by the way.
Okay.
And I go, all right, let's hear it, bro. And he goes on to describe insurance fraud. Like, I was like, that's insurance fraud, brother.
That's funny.
No, but I think maybe we got to walk it back a little bit, because we went like present time. I want people to hear who Genesis Veronon is. Where do you come from? I mean, we don't need like the whole life story unless you want to go there. We got time.
Yeah.
But you know, what do you care about? What drives you? What's your main motivating factor and that kind of stuff? You know what I mean?
Wow, man, those are good questions. So I'm from Spokane, just to get to that. Born here, and I moved away to Las Vegas for a few years, summer of '86 to '90. Came back here, finished high school in the Spokane Valley. I went to Grant Elementary, so I was in District 81 as a child. So coming back and being able to stay with my biological father for the first time in my life. At 15, I was 15 and he worked at Kaiser Trentwood in the Valley. So it was my first experience like going to school in the Valley, because, you know, as for being from Spokane and being, you know, my age or whatever, you know, we didn't go to the Valley. District 81 kids from LC or whatever, we didn't go to the Valley.
Yeah.
You know,
I personally don't really like the Valley.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just get a weird vibe when I get there.
Yeah.
It's like going into a Safeway or something. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm a
funny.
Winco guy.
I got you.
But like when I walk into a Safeway, I'm like, I'm just getting what I need and getting out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Nah, it's always been, you know, I kind of felt a way about the area, you know, when I moved there. But then once you get into the community, you find you make good friends with people. You know, I met a guy named Jaimel Posner. He's one of my best friends. He's actually Mike Posner, the singer. His first cousin. I met Mike in the 90s, so that was cool. So having brotherhood, you know, meeting people who are from an area and them embracing you, you know, shout out Kenny Helm, Jim Whitsitt, everybody, you know, Larry Hambrick. Those were, you know, so I adapted and really learned how to survive out there, really, you know, not being connected to really anybody that I grew up with until they went out to U-High, went out to University High School. I was class ASB vice president, and then I had a child, and then I dropped out. So from U-High, and then I had my oldest son, Faraji, who's now 34 years old. Faraji, for those of you who don't know, a lot of people know that my little brother who passed away, that was his moniker, that was his performance name.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know that performance name was actually my oldest son's name, his real name.
Oh, see, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's my oldest son's
his real name was Maurice, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
So yeah, he for whatever reason, it's not like I own that name. It's an Arabic
name. Yeah, but that's crazy.
Name.
As long as I've known you, I never made that connection.
Yeah, he took my son's
name
cool. And then spelled it weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, that's just a little fun fact about that. Something I wanted to touch on though, about something you said. where you were going. I'm not quite sure, but it was inspiring me to say what you discover when you're out doing events, and when you're, from whether it's the insiders thing back in the day that I was doing, or promoting an event like Shootfest, or any of the things that I've done over the years, you find out how connected we really are. When you're going out and you're meeting people, if you're in sales or whatever, if you're connecting with the community and you're consistent, you will find out that this person's that person knows that person, knows that person, knows that person. Yep. And what's interesting about that is that's never changed. We've always been connected. And I think that to the point of algorithms and how they work, I think that yes, they can connect us, but by design, they can easily divide us, because by the nature of what life is, how there's people who believe this and people that believe that. But that's what I enjoy most about, again, the community work, because you find out that we're really connected for real, and that these connections, obviously the internet may be a conduit to connect people because it makes things easier, obviously, but naturally we are connected. Those of us who have to get out into the wild, like we are today.
Exactly.
You're not at the crib, I'm not at the crib, we're out in the wild doing this. And so, yeah, man, the divisiveness, just jumping over to that, almost any divisiveness that you see anywhere that's prevalent, it's the natural resistance of the natural connection that we all really have, and how and I think the divisiveness doesn't want to unlock. It fights against unlocking the connectivity that we have.
It does.
Because that's scary powerful. When people are unified, because you can't control that type of energy. It's going to do what it does.
And I think if we can just say they, without trying to explain who they is, because I think there's a big argument over who they is these days. So I think that anything they can't control causes them to want to destroy it. So it's either control or destroy. It's like having a toxic relationship with a woman or a man, or whatever type of relationship you're in with your government. So if they can't control, they seek to destroy. And also, I think that I don't know if this is true, but I feel like the original sin of man is seeing what God created and saying, yeah, that's cool, but I can do it better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In a nutshell, I think that that kind of encapsulates it. So you get, bottled water. I mean, we already had water.
Yep.
And look what bottled water does to us. It puts microplastics in our body. It causes cancer. My bad. I didn't even put two and two together. You just took a drink out of that water bottle, right? And I drink out of plastic too, man. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm saying, it's not like a call to action to stop drinking bottled water or whatever. But yeah, we had water to drink, and then somebody figured out a way to monetize that, and now it takes up most of the market share in the beverage industry is bottled water. Yeah, it's 80% or something crazy. We'll fact check it. I'll put the actual fact on the screen when I edit. Yeah. But and then we get the internet, which is basically the world and our collective subconscious in a tangible format where you can go and see it. But it has its bad effects, right? Because God creates, the devil imitates. Yeah. And the devil can't create anything. He can only influence people to create things on his behalf. And it always turns into something that's, the internet is, causes people have internet addiction. They get locked away into silos and echo chambers where they can't see the world for what it really is. They can't discern, what's right, wrong, or indifferent about the political messages that they're receiving. Right. And so then you get people out in the streets doing actual harm to each other, where if they would never have been introduced to or affected by this emotional contagion that they're being drip fed constantly, they would have never done that. because they could have just walked outside and seen that, like, my neighbor is black, but I get along with him. There is no racial tension, right? Like, when I met up with you downstairs, every time I've ever seen, have we ever even had a conversation? I mean, maybe we've had a conversation about race, right? Like, it's come up, but it's not ever like the media would have you think that it is. Like, we don't even have that. Like, I personally don't have that with people who don't look like me. You know what I mean? But the media really wants to convince us that that's, and trust me, I understand that it is a thing, and the black experience is different than the white experience, right? Like, in some scenarios, you might feel that. But generally, in your own neighborhood, and going to the grocery store, going to the gas station, like, we really get along a lot better than we're giving ourselves credit for, right?
Well, 100%.
Yeah.
Looking at this place, Spokane, I looked up some demographics today.
Yeah.
Currently, since we're going to talk about this a little bit, we're 2% black here, right? So
I thought it was 8, but I could be off. I could be way off.
I can explain that to you.
Yeah.
We are part of the 8% of
Okay.
people that are non-white.
Oh, okay. So it's basically like 8% everything that's not white people.
Yeah.
That's how they lump it in together.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a couple other ones. There's white, which is 81%. We're part of the 8%, which breaks down to 2%.
Yeah.
Out of the 8.
Okay.
So it's interesting because I thought it was like 4 or 5%.
Yeah.
From something that I'd seen a while ago. But my point to bringing that up is that there's not a ratio. If there's 90, if I'm of 2% and I'm moving about here, I'd say that racial things are okay. They're not as bad as one might assume if I'm able to move about and do all the things that I've done.
Yeah.
No one has told me that I couldn't do it because I was black. I couldn't do Shootfest or Insiders, or I've pretty much been able to do what I've wanted to do with the understanding of the challenges that affect people that look like me here in town and everywhere else.
Yeah.
Because the fact of the matter is a couple things I want to say. One was a recent conversation I want to bring up. It's very important yesterday. But I tell some of my white brothers, man, that you don't have to deal with black people. And I think that it's different for you because this is kind of where it can be disappointing when you have white guys that ingratiate themselves in hip hop culture, but then they don't get black challenges. But then they can watch some racist shit happen or not, or a person will have a grievance, a black person or a person of color will have a grievance, and you won't even understand. Like, it's not about even agreeing with it, but you're like lost. And it's like, man, I thought you were down. So in your particular case, it's not about, you've always been real to me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so you're one to have gotten it. I don't know if you've dated black women. I don't know if your best friend's black. I don't, but yeah, you look like the kind of, yeah, but for all intents and purposes, there are white guys like my best friend Jaimo and other people who really get it. And what I mean by get it, they can sit back and have a conversation and understand how a black person can feel a way about a particular situation without 100% agreeing with you. Like, for instance, real quick, a microaggression. Genesis, you speak really well. So I've been told that.
Or like, you actually speak really well.
Correct.
That I know what that feels.
So that microaggression is ruthless. And certain times it's hit me and it's like, dang, that felt weird. And other times, that, hey man, they were just trying to be kind. They were giving you a compliment. So
I've got a lot to say about this, actually. So I think I have an interesting perspective when it comes to this topic. Just growing up in, a mostly Hispanic neighborhood, and then when I was a little bit older, moving to a mostly black neighborhood. and being kind of like the white boy that was cool, that like, you know, the white boy with the braids. I was down, like nobody really gave me a hard time because I was white, but there was the one-off instance where it was like, man, what is this white boy doing here? You know, like, and, you know, I didn't really understand it, you know, until I grew up and I moved out of Portland and like I migrated slowly up to Meade, like by the golf courses, and it's like very pale up there and it's all just white people. And like I still dress kind of hip hop, but like there's days where I'm just wearing a suit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like then it kind of hit me where I was like, oh, okay, so all the time when I was younger, it looked like I was cosplaying and like oh, and then when I grew up, I got to just, this is Kai.
Yeah.
You can we're recording, but you can totally just come in and chill.
I've seen pictures of her.
Yeah. So then when I grew up and moved away, I got to just like take it off and walk away. Because when I was younger, I was getting arrested all the time. I was getting beat up by the cops. Me and my black friends were getting treated the exact same way.
Yeah.
If anything, they kind of like went in a little harder on me because I was a little white boy and they're like, stupid little white boy, you know?
Yeah.
But then, when I got older, it really hit me in my 30s where I was like, oh, I got to just take it off.
Yeah.
But so when I was younger, I thought I understood the black experience, right?
Yeah.
But as I got older, I realized that there's no way that I could possibly ever understand that experience.
Yeah. Well, I hear you, man. I want to touch on the cosplaying thing. When I met you, man, it's interesting with artists. Mm-hmm. You know, when you meet an artist, sometimes they become their moniker. Like you have Cary, you have Hays. You know, It's interesting for you because your name, you keep your name in your name. You know, which is interesting to me.
Like a Kendrick Lamar or whatever.
Yeah. So I'll have to use you. I could use a bevy of examples, but I'm going to use you for an example. I feel like you're the same guy, though. I feel like I don't feel like Hays the rapper is a completely different person than you the person. I feel like I feel like you've always been authentic. I think that if you say cosplay, I mean, I never felt that way. But if you, or I'm not. What did you say?
Maybe not necessarily like a cosplay, but that I could see how, especially older people from the neighborhood could look at me and be like, that kid is that's just a white boy that's just cosplaying black or whatever.
I hear you. And that's the braids. I just remember the shades. I remember being in the front of the mall just chilling with you. And I'm like, this guy's just got, you could rap. So that's what, so. And
it's not that I wasn't authentic. You know what I mean? It's just that I didn't understand, and not even to say I didn't understand who I was. It was just that like, I just really didn't understand the situation and why some people might be mad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I get that. I totally get that. But like I said, being a white guy that gets it, I wish that there were more white dudes that were to straighten people out about woke. For real. You know what I mean? Right. To really understand, especially cats my age, for real, because they know in the 90s when we were talking about what wokeness was about, police brutality, knowing history, knowing about some of the racist shit and the oppression and how to get through it and how to work together. You know, up with hope and down with dope. You know, where'd the dope come from? Oh, the CIA. Oh, Iran-Contra war. You know, that's part of being woke, understanding that there's gangster stuff happening. It's not just the five families.
And I think that's where social media as a military-grade psychic weapon, that's where it's really dangerous. Because, so let's say, like the microaggressions thing, right?
Yeah.
So let's, like when you were talking about how somebody says, Genesis, you actually speak really well, right?
Yeah.
So I think that they would have you believe not only do white people feel that way, but they're unwilling to recognize it and change it if it was brought to their attention. You know what I mean? So it almost like puts another nail in the coffin of like your perspective of when you walk into a situation where it's all white people, that you automatically think that they dislike you.
100%. Because there's exactly, because it's evidence.
Yeah. Cause I guarantee you like 80%, maybe even 90% of people, if they were doing that, they don't even realize that they're offending you.
Right.
They're just like, it doesn't even cross their mind, you know? And if you were to call it to their attention and be like, hey, all right, so here, you know what I'm saying? Like the way you just said that, it actually like kind of pisses me off.
And then now it'd be like, if I were to say that, they'd be like, they say some it'd be a weird ass deflection.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be a weird deflection. They'd say, oh, you're on some woke shit or just some whatever. It'd just be, but in actuality, they would be correct for the actual what it means. It's like, yeah, man, now you're aware. We're all aware that this is offensive and this is why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And because what people don't understand here is that you really don't have to deal with black folks here. You don't have to deal with black people in Spokane. You can get on the bus, you can go buy a car, you can go get a TV, you can go get a burger, you can probably come into this building. There wasn't a black security guard or whatever. Like you can go about your business without having to deal with black people in Spokane. And that's just what it is. So with that being said, this is what I wanted to touch on yesterday. I was talking to a guy about and he's a guy on the right, but he's a brother in the Lord. So one of the things that concerns me about that is lies. It's like, well, I get that you rock with this group because they support this thing, and I get it because I support that thing too. But how do we call out the lies though? How do we look at something and be like, yo, he said that this wasn't going to happen and now it's happening? Or these people were joking. You say that they're joking about all this racist stuff with gas chambers and stuff. You think that that's a joke. It's not a joke.
I know what you're saying. Like, I think a really good example of that is like Charlie Kirk, right?
Oh, Lord.
So the reason why that topic is so polarized and so radical on either side, there's like no in between on that, right? And I see people on the right. I see people on the right. I see people on the left doing it. And I'm like, okay, hold up. We need to back up a little bit and really see what's happening here.
Yeah.
So things get clipped, right? And I know that's a common way to excuse things, right? But things get clipped out of longer form pieces of content. And then all of a sudden, Charlie Kirk is saying black pilots are underqualified.
Okay.
Right?
Oh, we're going to do this one.
But check it out. If you really walk it back, I need to find the clip. When I find the clip, I'll cut it in right here and then we'll talk about it.
Please do it.
Charlie Kirk, he says, I'm sorry, if I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified. Now, if you first see this, you're going to think, oh, wow, Charlie Kirk is such a racist. You know, he said something like this, and that's what he believes. But if we dig a little deeper and get context.
If I see a black pilot, I'm going to be like, boy, I hope he's qualified.
Well, that's the
you wouldn't have done that. You wouldn't have. You wouldn't have done that before. That's not an immediate. No, you wouldn't have done that before. That's not who I am. That's not what I believe. It is. That's not who I am. That's not what I believe. It is the.
That's not who I am. That's not what I believe. It is the
reality the left has created.
I want to be as blunt as possible because now I'm connecting two dots. Wait a second. The CEO just said that he's forcing that a white qualified guy is not going to get the job. So I see this guy. He might be a nice person. I say, boy, I hope he's not a Harvard-style affirmative action student that has points for, and he landed half of his flight simulator, trials.
That's the thing. It's
such a good point. And by the way,
so fair.
It creates like unhealthy thinking patterns. I don't want to think that way. It creates like unhealthy thinking patterns. I don't want to think that way. I don't want to think that way.
I don't want to think that way.
Yeah. And no one should.
If we look at the context of this conversation right here, he's not saying that every time he sees a black pilot, he's saying, oh, I hope they're qualified. What he's saying is, if he lives in a world where DEI rules, that is what he's going to think. So that's the context. It's not that he's saying every time I see a black person in a position, I'm going to say, did they get that position? He's saying that if DEI has its way, if DEI rules everything, that is going to create an unhealthy, and he admits that is unhealthy thought pattern in his mind. So context is very important. If you don't take things in context, you're going to demonize people. You're going to look at them sideways. But you have to always go back to the source, understand the context. Where is this conversation coming from?
But what he's saying is that DEI by like inherently lowers the bar so that they can let in a certain nationality of people or a certain group of people get that specific position over somebody who would be more qualified than them. Okay. So what he said was, if I walk onto a plane and I see that the pilot is black, I'm thinking, oh man, I hope they're qualified. Yeah. So that's the sound bite, right? And you got to remember too that like, what is it? Turning Point USA? It's a business.
How does that sound bite sound?
Horrible.
Yeah.
Right? But if you walk it back and you listen to the whole thing, it still sounds shitty.
Oh, it's bad.
Right? But that's the point of it, right? Like you got to let me finish this comment so nobody clips me and makes me sound racist. Okay. But like, okay, so Turning Point USA, they're a business. So having that soundbite out there is you could compare it to like an influencer, like a girl getting on Instagram and doing a short about some boyfriend shit or whatever, right? Mm-hmm. But her top is backwards and the tag is sticking out. So half the people are just like, don't even notice it, right? Other people notice it and comment about it. So it's kind of like rapper beef. It's like, I've got a record coming out. I need a beef with this rapper so that I can spin up interest so that I can get them centered around the real message. Okay. Right? So, yeah, while I think it's wrong to radicalize people and get people all hyped up and angry at each other, it's totally wrong, but I feel like it's more of a marketing tactic than actual like hate.
Well, I appreciate you saying that, and I completely disagree with it because even though two things can be the same, yeah, I just think you don't use racism. You don't use racism for that shit. You just don't do it. Right. You don't compare people to Hitler. You just don't do it. There's just certain things that you don't do. There's certain things that are just bad takes, and to me that was a bad take. Yeah. It was a bad take for a multitude of reasons. Number one, to be a pilot, you have to. It's the qualifications for anybody being a pilot are crazy. Not only the training that you book, all the book training, we're talking about a minimum. If you were already a pilot in the Air Force, or if that's a minimum of 750 hours of flight time in the air. That's 2 months in the air.
Keep in mind, I'm just playing devil's advocate.
No, I got
too.
you. No, I got you.
I don't have a dog in the fight.
I definitely have a dog in the fight, and that's definitely that particular take. I don't dislike Charlie Kirk. Well, I don't like Charlie Kirk. But I don't. It's terrible what happened to him. Yeah. But that take was terrible. I think that's not the kind of stuff you say if you don't want people thinking your ass is racist. If you don't.
Yeah, and personally, here's my counter to Charlie Kirk. Yeah. And I didn't listen to a lot of his talks at college campuses and stuff like that. Like I've heard enough to get it. Like, okay, I see what he's doing here, right? He would come with stats, right? But I've heard people get with him on the stats too. Yeah. Like basically where he's trying to say that like, black people are, this small portion of the population, but yet they commit 80% of the violent crime or whatever. But it's like the averages are skewed by so many different variables that it's like, I'll have to pull that clip up too. But I heard one person getting with him, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, there were situations where it kind of felt like propaganda. And yeah, of course, like horrible what happened to him, but that's a whole nother rabbit hole. I think that was like kind of an inside job kind of thing, but
yeah. Well, the biggest thing about that other statistic is there was a couple of parts he left out. One was 50% of those cases that black people that he was talking about in that space, those people were all exonerated.
Yeah.
So those statistics aren't statistics unless you're bringing in that whole thing. So anyway, yeah, man, it's just weird. And while we're here,
I don't know how we got on we got on that, because like I try to avoid that topic, like just as a generality, because it's like
no, we have to talk about it, bro.
Yeah.
Especially you, especially a guy that, like I was saying earlier, you ingratiate yourself with black folks.
Yeah.
You were part of black culture, and that's just culture now, right?
Yeah.
And you don't have a problem with what Charlie Kirk said about that situation. Like, it doesn't seem to be like there's no clipping. It's like, nah, that you don't go there. If you're a pilot, you're qualified to fly a plane.
No, it's not that I don't have a problem with what he said. It's that I feel like there's more to it than what people see. Like, so if your algorithm is curated a certain way, you're going to see just the infuriating part, not any of the like logic as to why he said that.
That's limited,
You know
though,
what I mean?
because that's suggesting that people aren't looking anymore. I hear that same stuff, and it's like, nah, I can go look. It's not like, oh,
Yeah, but hey,
where do I go find
But some
the whole
people
thing?
don't. Some people don't.
No,
you know what I mean?
But see, I'm about truth, and I want to know what it is, because the divide is something I don't like, and that's why I dose, right?
Yeah.
So, and I dose probably 70% because of you. Because of what I've seen you do on your balcony,
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that. What did you call that show?
The balcony.
So it's called The Balcony, just like that. And bro, like the way you had your camera set up, I think you had 2 iPads or something.
Okay, so just to go in real quick and talk about what The Balcony was.
Yes.
Like when YouTube first came out, I was dating this girl named Bree. Shout out Bree. And I don't know where she's at, but no, when she'd go to work, I'd just be sitting at her house, and I realized she had a camera and she had a balcony, and I was like, I'm gonna try this YouTube thing. And I just set up the camera, and I just had my boy come over and rap into the camera, and we uploaded it.
Yeah.
And it was like in the early days of YouTube.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So I seen that, and it really inspired me when it that's how I move, bro. Like, I am here, but it's how you and the people I meet are responsible for how I move.
Yeah.
I love to collaborate in ways because that's how I wouldn't exist. None of us would exist without collaboration with our parents, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But it's almost like it's the same way of giving birth to things, like collaboration and seeing something special to inspire you, not to go bite that shit. Ooh, look at it. I'm gonna get my ass on a balcony now. I thought about it, but I'm like, oh, you can't bite. You know what I'm saying?
Well, no, I mean, hey, and like I said last time we talked about it, you totally could have did it, because like back then I would start something and I'd figure it out, and then once I figured it out, I'd lose interest in it. And then I'll just walk away from it. Funny. If I had kept doing that, who knows? That thing could have been Drink Champs right now.
Oh, there's no question about it. There's no question about it, because, but anyway, that was special. And so influence, huge. Where were we before we got into this stuff, man? We talked about the Charlie Kirk stuff, and again, I'm still, God, that's just rough stuff. Oh, we were talking about, I'm never a slave to the clips, dude. Like,
good. Okay, cool. Cool.
No.
Yeah.
Because probably one of the most selfish reasons why I'm not is I've seen what clips have done to me and other people on real life levels, where people can say a little bit, and that little bit can damage them. And that little bit is just bullshit that's weaponized to hurt somebody. So it's always about context.
Yeah. And I think like what he was trying to get people to understand is that, like, when you say all right, we're going to give this position to this guy because we're trying to like even the playing field, right?
Why not though?
Well, but
Well, no.
well, no, I'm saying
But why not though?
I'm saying, but if this guy's qualified and this guy's less qualified, like, you know what I'm saying?
No, but that's what's happened.
But if you and here's why I'm saying that.
Okay.
If you really break that down, what is that?
All right.
If I give you a job, or if the airline says I'm going to give this guy a job because he's not the color of this guy.
That's it, but that's not how it really works. You have to be qualified. What we're talking about is a little bit of. It's not like I don't get where you're coming from.
Well, and I understand like
but
that there's a systemic problem too, right?
But that's, bro. That is, if you telling me that there's a systemic problem, is like telling me that it's getting dark outside. These are facts.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
These are facts. These are indeeds, and these are redlining and shit. All these things are real.
Yeah.
These aren't things. There's laws. If you're black, you can't live here. You can't buy this, right?
Yeah.
That's just what it is. So consequently, on the other side of it, I got to listen to white guys whine about DEI and stuff.
Yeah, and I'm not. Trust me, I'm not digging my heels on that topic.
I'm not saying you're whining, but what I'm saying, this is what I see.
Yeah.
And with negating laws, bro, I'm 51 today.
Yeah.
I was born in 1974. The Civil Rights Act passed in 68.
Yeah.
My parents were here. You know what I mean? My great grandma was here. Like, these things are deep. We lost property. We had property in town that was taken away. Like, it's because.
So, all right. So, and not to cut you off but I want to stay on this because I feel like we can leave a conversation halfway had.
Come on.
And then there's no like, all right, so what do we do about it? You know what I mean? Okay. So if that's the solution for the problem, which I'm not saying it's not, but if that's the solution to the problem, how far down that road do we go until the problem is solved?
Well, I don't think we've gone far enough down that road. If you live in Spokane, you can't. What are you going to complain about?
There's no basis for comparison. There's no way to really quantify it because
that's what I'm saying. Like, people from Spokane who live in the valley who have a certain political affiliation, right? They're upset. Like, this shit's affecting them. There's no black people here.
It's like, okay, now I get why you were saying that. Okay, because it's like, because and that goes along with what I'm saying about the our algorithms being psychic weapons. Like, we're out here thinking that we live in these highly populous areas where it matters, and we don't.
We don't.
Yeah.
And again, it gets really deep because I'm not trying to bring my age into it, but when you're old enough to know things historically and you look at stuff objectively without any algorithm or any internet, for instance, when I'm old enough, I was working during affirmative action. I'd see the signs and stuff. When I went to work for $4.25 an hour, $3.70, I'd work. I was. Those wages, it's ill, and I would have to hear people talk about stuff, and it's like, well, I'm at McDonald's, I'm not tripping,
it doesn't really affect me,
I'm just at McDonald's.
Yeah.
But when you look at when you go back to the 90s and you go, well, shit, 15 years ago or 25 years ago, there was black folks, we didn't have full rights, right? And then you got Harvey Milk, and you got a lot of gay and lesbian leaders, coming out, no pun intended, and then other people coming out, literally, and then they're like, we're just like gays are just like blacks, Genesis. And I'm like, oh man, I just got finished reading Malcolm X book, watching Roots again, and I'm like, how is this possible? What are you talking about?
Yeah, but that's a whole psyop in and of itself, right?
So those were the things when Charlie Kirk, since we're here, when he was talking about certain things dismantling the civil rights, that's the part that that wasn't the clip. I did watch the whole thing.
Yeah.
That he was talking about. That's the source of it. The reason why, because gays were trying to tether their things to it.
Yeah.
So I understood that, but I still didn't think it was right. Only because everybody kind of has rights,
Yeah.
and it doesn't. And they do have rights, and I don't have to like your rights or your mine, but that's what it is. You know,
Yeah.
the people have rights. So the thing is that you can choose to be gay for the most part. I know I'm not trying to win arguments with people.
Yeah.
I'm saying objectively because I've seen people who are gay.
Yeah.
Now they got kids and stuff.
Yeah, and they're just living.
Yeah, so I've seen.
Ain't
that
nobody
happen.
messing with them.
I've seen that happen too many times to say that it can't happen.
Yeah,
That's not a thing. People experimenting or thinking this or that, and then they're heterosexual again. I cannot change.
Yeah,
I can't walk out of this studio and be a white guy because I'm just gonna be white. You know. So that's probably one of the fundamental reasons. On top of there is no laws against gay people. If you're gay, you can't live over 20th in here. You know,
Right.
That's in covenant laws. If you're gay, you can't be in Richland. That's another covenant law in
Really?
Richland, Washington. It's
Damn.
not. It's out of
it's
commission.
not like. Yeah,
But
yeah.
again, when people start talking about rolling back civil rights laws, Hayes,
Yeah, see, I haven't.
you
See, and
can't-
that's the thing. I don't get served that kind of
we
stuff.
can't. So black people are like, people of color are like, damn man,
Yeah.
this don't feel good.
Yeah.
What are you trying to do here?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And why? Like, why all of a sudden?
Yeah,
like,
because they
yeah.
were already there. I mean, dog, when I went to Richland and I found out, and you can look it up, that there was a covenant law within the last 50 years,
Yeah.
you know, or ish or whatever, in the last century, that if you were black, you couldn't be outside after 7. You could be arrested, and just down the street, 2 hours from here, you know. So yeah, dog.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, dog. Like, not enough people have died. Not enough time has gone by to where we can heal from this stuff. And now we're in this space, in this algorithm, where now we don't even know what the truth is anymore.
Yeah.
Now we got people lying to us, and we accept it.
And this ties in perfectly to the program, and not to like plug. I mean, it's my podcast, so fuck it. I'm gonna plug my shit, right? But like, and yeah, granted, I played devil's advocate with the Charlie Kirk thing a little bit. Like, I understand that was a messed up statement, right? I get it, right? But I mean, I did want to dive a little deeper into it for the people that just take the headline at face value and don't have the conversation, right?
Yeah.
But what I will say is that coming up in the black community, I didn't see weak people. Everybody that I met in the black community was a strong person. Like, I saw warriors, like people that were up against the ropes and like figured it out. You know what I'm saying? Like you. That like, you're like, I'm not going to let this shit stop me from doing what I got to do. I got a horse tournament at the mall. You know what I mean? Like, and so what I'm trying to combat is, you know, this victimization where they're trying to convince us that we're victims in some way. Like, they've even figured out how to make white men feel like victims.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And that's, think about that. Like, cause it used to be like, oh, like, how do I put this? But like, there is a thing now where it's like, oh, it's hard to be a straight white man in America now because everybody hates you. So now we're victims too. You know what I mean? Have you heard that though?
Yeah.
That's
been a thing for a while.
So I had to just like take a step back from it and go, like, cause I've been poor. I've been, you know, middle class. I've been upper middle class. Yeah. I've been all through the spectrum, and I've been in rooms with people that are millionaires, damn near billionaires.
Yeah.
And where this stuff doesn't matter is in those rooms.
Yeah.
In those rooms with those people, it doesn't matter, because whether you're black, brown, white, whatever, Mexican, gay, straight, whatever you are, if you're in those rooms and you have a mechanism to make as much money as you want to make, you know, it's just a matter of how hard you work on it or whatever, then you have the resources to affect change.
That's right. So
what I'm trying to do, and this is just like the short term, is I'm trying to pull 1,000 people, and I don't care what they look like, where they're from, any of that, right? Mm-hmm. into my program, teach them how to start a legitimate business, give them a revenue engine to make money, figure out how to get business funding, scale your business, get a valuation, sell it, and exit and ride off into the sunset if you want to,
Right.
or keep making money and influence the world politically, because it seems like that's the only thing that moves the needle, is being able to lobby for your own cause or, what you want to see happen in the world.
Politics is the new religion now. That's the fourth party. Well, it's the third. It's the whole thing. But yeah, that's what's gross. Like, politics is religion now, and it's deep, dog. But yeah, man, influence, positive influence, whatever. The lies is what I'm having a problem with. It's like not knowing. I'm not bashing Trump when I say it's like, dog, where the files are coming. Now they're not here.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything to the White House. I'm not going to touch it. And just boom. It's like, what's happening? Like, why?
Are you starting to feel like maybe it's not meant to be figured out?
Well, I like how you mentioned that. I'm certainly in a space to where I'm not going to wonder about it. Like, I'm trying to deal with that, what it is. And people are going to be people. Their own personal agency is their thing, the lives that they choose. But the fact, the point I'm trying to bring this back to is how I don't see people denouncing things or having their chest out about, hey, man, like, this dude said he would do this, and now what's up? People really calling people out and holding them accountable. It seems like people are able to deflect, and the reality is changing, and people are talking about, what is it, the Mandela effect. And now that's crazy, because now with the internet, you could really get crazy with the Mandela effect.
Yeah. Well, to talk about what you're talking about not like having my chest out and saying something about when I see something, it's kind of like having a dead cat on your porch. You know what I mean? Like, there's a dead cat on my porch. I want it fucking out of here, but I don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, okay, we need to
that's heavy.
Go backwards, walk this back a little bit, and just, okay, I got my laptop. I don't have social media on my phone. If you need to get a hold of me on Facebook or something, I got the messenger. Yeah. I'm just not looking at the social media part of it because it's rotten. You know what I mean? There's no message that you can get from it. Like, if I go on the internet and I see somebody say something and I'm like, oh, this is foul, I need to say something about this, and then I get into a comment war with somebody, I've just wasted 3 hours of my time that I could have spent building my business so that I could take care of my kids and my community.
I feel you on that. And I will say this, I definitely feel you on that. And I'm going to try to find the words for it through my doses, which are my little talks that I do.
Yeah.
People don't bring that crazy stuff on my page. We have really good, there's people who don't disagree with each other, but I'm really thankful. See, no one's paying me, Hayes.
Yeah.
So when people hear me speak, when people hear you speak, they know that it's us.
Yeah.
And that's the power for real, that you can be unapologetic and genuine.
Yeah.
And know that you're not trying to be, and that your spirit is going through the microphone and through you're part of the algorithm too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There is that, but you can be the resistance within the algorithm, and that's what I deliver. I feel like I feel like that's what this is.
Yeah.
And you see the manifestation of it on the page. It's not like, you son of a bitch and F you. You don't see people who disagree with each other. That is not on my page.
Yeah.
Over the years since I've been doing stuff, and then with these weird elections and all this stuff that's been happening where people have been elevated and people don't, for instance, meekness or weakness. I thought you were going to go into, I didn't research it. We could probably find it. I guess Ketanji Brown said something else the other day about black people and about how something about us being weak. I'm going to circle and look back into it. So I thought you were going to go into that. Like, hey, so listen, I'm going to tell you straight up. That's the same lady that said she don't know what a woman is when she got asked. So I don't listen to her.
Yeah.
And she does not listen to me. Your audience, black people know, we're not a monolith, but I'm going to tell you, we know what a woman is. You talk to most black people, the 2 out of 100, you ask them what a woman is in Spokane, they'll be like, yeah. So don't think that we're a monolith, especially when people are saying crazy shit.
Yeah.
That's for sure. I couldn't figure out how to defend that. Even if I spent time, it just didn't. When I heard that, let me tell you this really quick. Yeah. When I didn't know who Ketanji Brown was.
I kind of do. She's like a political commentator, right?
No. She hasn't. She's a judge.
Oh, okay.
She's one of the Supreme Court judges. And she's a Democrat. Yeah. Okay. But the first time me finding out who she is, and again, she has an illustrious career. She was an attorney. She's done all amazing, dope stuff. You don't just open a box and pull out a Ketanji Brown. I mean, she's had to put some work in.
Right.
So I got to give her respect there. But so with all of that being said, bro, the first time I knew who she was and what she was, I had to hear her get asked what a woman is and her not be able to answer.
Have to stutter all over the answer.
I'm like, oh no.
Yeah,
that was weird for me, bro. Yeah. Honestly, I'm like, what is she like? This is weird. I was like, she's playing, right? She's playing, right? She's just playing.
And that's that silly shit that they try to like lump onto the back of the civil rights movement, right? Or like they try to like couple those things together where it's like, if you don't understand what gender you are, then like you identify with black or what the black plight or whatever or something like that, right?
That's the part when it comes to that. It's like gay people, I know it's about civil rights, but it's not the same. It is the same in terms of, yes, I can, if you want to be free to do what you want to do, and you want to be free, and I have a friend, man, who's a trans person, okay?
Yeah.
Nice boobs. This is a man.
This is a man. That's fine. That's fine. Like Blair White, right?
Yeah, this is a man with...
Where it's like, damn,
and older,
if you weren't...
And older than me, considerably. We lived together in Seattle. You know? Really cool person. She's not with all this stuff.
Exactly. And I think most actual trans, like I used to drive Uber and Lyft, right? Yeah. And I would pick people up from 9 Bar all the time, real trans people. And they would be like, they would say stuff like, I don't have a problem with anybody. I have a problem with trans activism. Yeah. And it causes infighting in their own community. And it's like, they're like, I'm just a trans. I'm just a, you know what I mean? Like, if you listen to Blair, you ever listen to Blair White?
No, but send me a link.
I didn't even know Blair White was born a man until like, I probably listened to like 6 of her podcasts, right? And I call her because she's like, she's not with the nonsense.
Right.
She's like, and I think it's fine too if you have the viewpoint that you can be born in the wrong, like, whatever your viewpoint is, I'm fine with it. Yeah. Right? But I'm just saying that Blair White is like, I was born a man. I got a bunch of surgeries and a bunch of enhancements to myself to make myself appear more like a woman. Yeah. And I'll never be a woman. I'm a man. I just look like a woman, right?
Yes.
So she's very like logical about it. And not to say that the counter to that is illogical, because we're all just doing the best we can with what we have.
Well, it's
right?
ownership, Hayes.
Yeah.
She's not trying to gaslight you into something that's physically impossible. She's taking ownership and saying, okay, now this is my body. Yeah. I did this to my body. Right. This is me, but I'm not part of any ideologies. This is me. Yeah. I'm not an ideology. This is me. This is it. Yeah. This is the shit right here.
Well, yeah, and if for anybody who identifies that way, if you just put your phone down. Put your phone down for a second and go out and walk around and just like interact with the world. Because if you bump into me, it's going to be nothing but love. I got no issue.
I'm glad you
I mean?
brought that person up, man, because my friend
Yeah.
is just like that.
Yeah.
It's just like that. I wouldn't have been able to compare. And this Blair person's an influencer. Mm-hmm. Oh, see,
Yeah, she's a big old YouTuber.
Yeah, so 100%.
Yeah.
And no, I appreciate that. I'm gonna definitely look into that. My friend's got 8-9 kids that are my age or grown ass kids.
Yeah.
So it's heavy, man. And even in Seattle, I want to touch on this. My friend's an educator. Mm-hmm. So his name, he was born Mark.
Okay.
Okay, and now he goes by Marcella.
Okay.
And so we lived together in this house, and so I would see Marcella come home, and this is when people say the West Side is on this gay shit.
Yeah.
And they are in a space in Capitol Hill.
Yeah.
But
it's always been like that.
But you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Dog, Marcella would come home, and it's the principal, because she was not a TA, but a substitute, right? Because there's all teachers taking time off and stuff. So there's all kinds of substitute gigs. So they get there expecting Marcella, and Marcella, nice boobs and stuff, but you can tell that this is probably a guy or whatever, was a man or whatever, that type of thing. So they be asked to leave. There was all kinds of different things. And so what's interesting about that is that people on this side of the mountain would think that, they're all with that. Nah. There's plenty of conservative stuff. And there was many times where she was sent, no, we don't want you back here. And do.
See, so that's unfortunate, man.
Yeah, it is. But the biggest thing, like I said, is that people, the preconceived notions about the West Side, just because they got Capitol Hill on lock,
Yeah. And about that, man, it's from a person that's seen the inside of like social media marketing, and I've been in marketing for almost 8 years now, right?
Yeah.
And what I've discovered about the internet that we've built as a collective, like they put the infrastructure there, and it's our inputs that created what it is, right? So the way I see it, your phone, your social media apps, ChatGPT, all these other things that we use on a daily basis, they're data collection tools.
Yeah.
And that data is being mined by people who I don't think have the best intentions. And I think that we're heading towards a technocracy where, digital IDs, we don't have any autonomy, digital currency. If you step out of line or say something that's like wrong think or whatever, they can just shut you down. Yeah. And I think it's a mechanism.
Snatch your money, huh?
Yeah, it's a mechanism for control. Imagine like being tricked into building a prison and then willingly walking into it and just saying, all right, go ahead and lock me up and throw away the key. Or, building a gun, loading it, and then saying, here, go ahead. That's kind of where we're at. So what I want to do is I want to take and just phase one of this. I want to get 1,000 people from social media. I'm cutting myself off as a consumer of social media, but through my platform, I'm still posting to social media, right? So I'm taking these long form podcasts that we're doing, and I'm taking the most viral possible clips, and I'm throwing up short form content everywhere because that's what gets the most attention, right? So that's the top of funnel. So the guy that's like, man, I really want to start a business, but like I'm just do this just spinning his tires in life, right? He sees this, he joins the program. All of a sudden, we've got another guy that's, building something positive in his life and affecting change in the world, right? So I'm essentially using the weapon against the weapon.
Yes.
To get people to come out and like wake up to the reality.
I like
and it's like kind of, you know, ain't no fun when the rabbit's got the gun kind of thing, right?
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
so every week I'm going to bring on a guest who's like, you know, I don't know if you're like chronically online, right? But I want to bring somebody on that's like chronically online and get them to join the program, whether that takes 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. I'll have them come in every week till I get them on my side.
I got you.
And then they'll be on this side of the table and somebody else will be sitting over there.
Yeah.
And I'll build my team like that in real life. And then of course, like I want to build a remote, I want to bring remote members in too.
Bro, this is weird to me that the guy that influenced 70% of why I do doses, I do it every day.
Yeah.
It's got me thinking about.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing. I don't want to cut you off as a creator. I want to cut you off as a consumer.
Yeah, I got
because once you cut yourself off as a consumer, it's only until you cut yourself off that way that you're able to do anything. I feel like. Because you know how many times I've sat down to work on a very complex project and I'm like, man, I don't really know how to do this. So I'm going to pull up something to research how to do this. And then I start listening into a video about it and I just start to doze off.
Okay.
Because I've been like the algorithm has trained my mind to only want to listen to stuff about like the occult or like the Illuminati or, you know, something that like stimulates my brain in another way.
Yeah.
So I've had to, over these last couple of weeks, I've had to literally retrain my brain. And it's been like withdrawing from drugs, bro.
No, you're right.
Like where I'm like, okay, now I have to like somehow get dopamine from listening to informational stuff. Like it was tough. And I don't think that people understand how dependent we're becoming on this like pop political slop.
I seen it during Vines. Remember Vines?
Yeah.
I seen the effect, which are basically another name for shorts.
Yeah.
basically.
It's like TikTok before TikTok.
100%.
Yeah.
So over a dozen years, you know, some 10, 12 years ago when all the Vines were popping and I would look at my kids and other people's kids and even adults, I was like, oh my God, I was watching them be programmed and to have a short attention span.
Yeah.
Like
That
you
was
had,
the beginning,
you had to deliver. Yeah. And I watched how that affected them, how they behaved and how they communicated. It was training people, you know? And I think that in certain, you know, there's always two sides to a coin, I suppose, you know, but I definitely saw the consequences of the attention span being dissipated, you know, during that process. It was an exercise. It was like, well, you know, and then on top of that, in the hip hop game, you look at Wild and Out, you look at punchlines, right? Then it had to be, you look at ciphers. It's like, oh, I got to hit you with punchline after punchline after punchline after punchline to get your attention. You're not even listening to the storytelling. You're not connecting.
It's like a data-driven approach to entertainment where it's like, oh, okay, I made them laugh 4 times a minute or whatever.
Yes.
Or like, I got their attention 4 times in this verse. Let's see how we can do it 16 times, right?
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
we cannot get into rap right now though, because I gotta wrap this in like 7 minutes. Okay. Next time we'll get into rap.
Oh God.
Because if we get into rap right now, we're gonna go for like another hour. Oh, and 100%. I got Kai here.
What's up? Kai?
Okay. Oh, here. Let me give you my. Did I text you a code? Crap, it's on my phone. Hold on. Let me see if I can grab it from my email. Because there's a bathroom right outside of here.
Oh, okay.
And we're gonna wrap this in like 5 minutes, and then.
Good. You just keep.
Okay.
Let me come.
It's almost. We've almost been on for an hour, so.
It's my birthday too. That's how. That's how he's got that.
This is Genesis. I don't know if you've ever. No. So he's a friend of your dad's too.
No, I've seen pictures of you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Lots of stuff. And how are you doing?
I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
How's your mom?
She's good too, yeah.
Okay.
She's, chilling.
I got you. Good.
Damn it. Why am I not finding the code?
I'm one of the managers at Northtown Mall.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever around the mall and you're in a jam or something, just pull up
Oh, yeah.
or whatever. Okay. Yeah, you can find me there. And Genesis is my real name.
Okay.
All right.
No, yeah, that's a fire name.
Yeah, I appreciate you.
It's 510.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
God, my attention span is
She's like, I got that TikTok attention span.
I'm actually really confident on mine. So.
Are you? Oh, see, that's the first person I've said that phrase to, and they're like,
That's me.
510
Oh.
067
Hey,
pound.
we're gonna be wrapping up soon.
Yeah, 67.
Oh, check you out. That's good.
And then if you go out this door and go to your left, you should see a bathroom right there. Okay. Yeah, we'll be done in like 5 minutes.
Hit my knee on the bottom of this table.
You
Okay,
okay?
yeah. So just come head this way, and then I'll meet you downstairs, or I'll call you when I get down there. If you
Just kind of go. I dropped you off at a weird place, so just kind of go to the same location-ish.
Yeah, you can kind of like, yeah. We're wrapping up, so by the time you get here, I'll be downstairs. I'll catch you. We'll figure it out. All right.
I'll see you in a few.
All right. Bye.
All right, bye.
All right. So before we wrap, I want you to just tell the people about Shootfest.
Okay. You should have told me about the videos, man. I could have really.
No, it's
prepared
fine.
for it.
I'm gonna cut to what we
Okay.
were talking about.
Okay.
Just so there's some context. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Yeah, absolutely.
And I did that. I did that for a reason.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like
okay.
I knew, and like granted, I knew it would elicit a response. You know what I'm saying? But it was for good reason. I promise.
Okay.
Just because it's a hot button thing. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like so. Yeah, granted, it was a little bit of an emotional,
Are you talking about these people again?
Which people?
Which part of this? You talking about
The
Black
Charlie?
pilots?
No, the Charlie Kirk thing. Yeah.
It's terrible.
I know. I know.
That's a terrible take. That's a terrible take.
Okay. All right, but let's talk about Shootfest because that's the most important thing. I
So
think.
listen, man. Shootfest is. I'm going to tell you why Shootfest is dope. Along the lines and why it's a very powerful weapon. So it's the game of horse. Okay, it's everybody against everybody. There's groups of 7 people. Okay, involved, and now we have. We got Davion, we got Markeith, we got Jesse, we got 5 champions now. You
Yeah.
know, we started in April 1st, 2023.
Yep.
It's dope.
Yeah.
So, horse, no left hand, right hand, no razzle dazzle, no dunks, obviously. We got a money shot that's covered by Airway Heights, sponsored by Airway Heights RV. Shout out Tony Strand. The dopest thing about this tournament, Hayes, is when someone makes a big shot, bro, everybody's going crazy, man.
Yeah.
You will not see that. My friend Randy, I don't know if he's a barber. His name's Randy Arts. So he was the first person to hit the $500 shot.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody went crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him because he wanted to see the video, bro. Like, just follow me here, dog. Like, think about this. Think about hitting a long ass shot in front of a couple hundred people.
And they just
And a drink. Like, when has that ever happened to anybody? Like it. I said, Randy, has this
That's a
ever
moment.
happened
That's a
to
moment.
you? He's like, this has never
Yeah.
happened to me.
I love that.
dogs.
Yeah.
So that's what I love about it, man. There's not when people are shooting, there's not somebody waving their hand trying to distract them. It's pure, no refs, no mercy.
Yeah.
Just buckets.
Yeah. I've been to one and the vibe was crazy. It was good.
Robert Sacre was at that joint you pulled up in. He came and hosted that.
Robert Sacre is
Former Laker, former Zag.
okay. Yeah.
7 played with Kobe. He was tripping, man. He walked away from the event, like mid-event for a minute. He's like, "Oh, Jen," he goes, I had to walk away. I've never seen anything like this."
Yeah.
Because being an NBA player, being a Division I, a professional, there's opposition. There's the other team and other fans. They're against you. You feel that energy.
Yeah.
So when you're in a place where there's a basketball and there's hundreds of people and you don't feel that negative energy, if anything, you feel like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah,
you know, some people they don't know what this is. And dog, we had a guy playing with his son, dog. He was able to compete. His son, they ended up playing in the same round, and he was just. And he was third place, the father.
Yeah.
So that's what's special about this, man. We're going to continue to smash and through these events and uplift these people that definitely earn it. Our last champion before our new champion, he's 14 years old, man.
Yeah.
You know, and he had to earn it. We didn't give it to him because, he's 14. Let's give him $1,000. No, nah, he had to earn it. So that's what's dope about this tournament, man. You could be shooting your ass off before the tournament starts. I was playing pretty well days before the tournament. The day of the tournament, man, I didn't play very well.
Right.
You know what I mean? So there was a guy that has played the majority of the tournaments. He got far last time, like super far, like way further than he's ever been, you know? So it's just like a personal challenge. I tell people when they're playing this, man, it is like, if you win, that's awesome. You earned it. But come out and participate. Come and flake out, man. Come look and fly. Come just be a part of it because, bro, if you're crazy enough to run Bloomsday, you're not doing that because you think you're going to win. You're not going to win. You're doing it because you want to be a part of the community. You want to beat your last score or time or whatever, you know. So thank you for letting me share about Shootfest. Thank you for being a part of it, for pulling up, and our dear friend Jeff, man. At least once a week, I see him coming behind the goal and giving me a hug, and that's the last I seen him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the last I seen him. Him showing up late, but he was there.
Yeah. I have that video too.
Are you serious?
Remember I was filming?
Hey, man. Hey, I know you got your project going.
Yeah, so Kai is here, Jeff's daughter, and we're filming an interview for because before he passed, he was dropping off a bunch of footage with me all the time because he had somebody following him around with a camera, and he wanted to do what he called a docu-cast called In the Midst, right?
Yeah.
And the last time I saw him, he dropped off like gigs of video. So I've got all this dope, like cinematic 4K B-roll and stuff, right? So I'm piecing it all together. I'm doing interviews, and I'm just going to put together a documentary just to honor his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's fly. Yeah. Opening thing, whatever, man. If you need help, whatever you need, dog, like I want to be involved. I'm 51 years old today.
Happy birthday.
Okay, 51 years old today. I knew your dad since I was 19. Okay?
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I was a kid when I was 20-something years old.
Same.
I was a kid till I was 30. You know what I mean?
I still feel like
51 years old. I've known your dad since I was 19 out in Coeur d'Alene. The first brother that probably the first black dude that I seen out in Coeur d'Alene. And he rhymed, so that was really cool. I'm like, there's an MC out here, and he was just flaving.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, man. And so I just wanted to share that with you, man. I envisioned that hug that I got from him and seeing him, and I hold that close. Yeah. And that's a big reason why I came today, because I'm not an excuse guy. And I didn't tell you that. Usually when people tell you they got something going on, you're like, let's go. Let's do this thing. You didn't say, oh, it's your birthday, man. No, can we do it some other time? No, let's go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Let's do it.
Yeah, because I mean, myself personally, I don't care what day, unless it's Christmas.
No, I
or like my kid's birthday or something, you know?
I get it.
Any other day, if there's an opportunity, I'm doing that. You know 100%. What I'm saying? And I recognize that in you. So
yeah, man. Yeah, so we got to keep going. We got to keep bouncing. We got to keep building. I appreciate what you're doing, man. I see the benefit of it. It you know, obviously I have the chronic thing. I see people. I certainly have the capability of being that person.
Yeah.
But I want a dose. I go out there and I see what people are talking about. I'm like, oh my God, this guy knows better, man.
You know what? I'm gonna make it my life's mission to get you into this program, and then watch your doses just go crazy, because you're gonna be talking about like stuff that has nothing to do with what people are seeing online. You're just talking about like the real world, and just totally focused on Shootfest and what Jen's got going on and what Jen is seeing in the world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it seems like, does it seem like I have a lack of like information to pull from? Like I'm running out of stuff to talk about? I don't think so.
No.
Like, I can talk all day long, and I don't gotta be on the internet.
100%.
Yeah.
I just feel, well, I don't know, man. I like that, Hayes, where you're coming from. We need to talk again. You're also safe, bro. You're a white dude in Spokane.
Oh, okay. Hey, man, I will say this. Hey, bro, I won't say I've had more incidents in Spokane than I have in Portland.
Yeah.
But I've been here 20 years, and I've had multiple guns pulled on me.
I understand.
I got jumped, bro. I've got 17 staples in the back of my head. Look at this scar on my tongue. Right there. My whole tongue got split in half. I got jumped downtown, and I was unconscious on the ground, and somebody kicked me in the face, and I bit my tongue in half. I've got broken bones.
I just said he was safe in Spokane.
Hey.
And he just did that.
Hey, I'm just letting you know, my experience in Spokane has not been one of like, you know what I'm saying?
No, that's
like,
that's completely fair, bro.
Yeah.
And that's the most. Dude said his tongue got split in half.
Yeah.
After I said he was safe, so I get it.
Yeah.
But you still know what I mean.
I do know what you're saying.
But that's a hell of a pushback. And
Yeah.
I'm neither one of us are in there
But
trying
hey,
to win.
there is a reason why I live in Meade now.
Yeah.
Because, bro, when I lay my head on the pillow, and this took a while to get used to, but I haven't heard a gunshot. I haven't seen anybody get beat down outside my house. Like, nobody's broken into my car in, I don't know, 10 years, something like that. Like, it just, you know, when you reach a certain age, you're like, bro, I'm tired of this shit. Like, I'm leaving. But, okay, so before we get down another rabbit hole, I just want to say, Jen, thank you for blessing us with your presence. I think you're a gift to the culture. Every interaction I've ever had with you has been positive. Throughout the years, you know, whether it was the Insiders, Shootfest, you've always drawn a crowd of young people who need direction and shown them what's possible.
That's what's up, man.
And I think that's just who you are, and I look forward to, you know, the coming years, decades, and just seeing what you do in the community. But yeah, man, thank you for coming.
Yo, can you rock with me on the next Shoot Fest, man? Come up and MC, man.
Yeah. All right.
Seriously.
Oh, you want me to rap?
No.
I'll MC. I'm not coming to
rap.
rap.
We have MCs on the court. No, I got you. I got you.
I mean,
I got you. And then I'll put this out there too. Friday night, I'm having a private party. For my birthday. So
I'll lock in with you on that.
It's just cats like us. Just chill. There's no.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right, man. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, bro. I'm all up on it.